you guys know Ozempic, it's been all over TikTok, social media, and Real Housewives of Dubai star Caroline Stanbury admits to taking Ozempic. So the Real Housewives of Dubai icon shared on her podcast how she turned the medication that we all know, the famous Ozempic, typically used for type 2 diabetes, to shed pounds following a midlife crisis at the age of 45.
So Ozempic traditionally is a medication that aids in managing blood sugar levels in type 2 diabetes and basically better manages and reduces complications related to that.
As well, of course, you guys, I know what it does is that people have been praising Caroline for being open and honest about using Ozempic, as Ozempic has been trending all over TikTok for a while now, and the hashtag has been viewed over 1 million times.
It's not really our place to jump into the pros and cons of the drug, but there's obviously side effects that come with it, which have been spoken about a lot, including nausea, loss of appetite, headaches, and more.
And of course, you know, you guys, now Ozempic can be taken, prescribed by a doctor, and it is crucial to contact a specialist. But what we want to talk about here is the fact that how brave she is to admitting it, because a lot of celebrities have used it and did not really admit it. You know, they have lost a lot of weight, and there have been speculation that they actually have been using Ozempic, but they did not really admit that.
That's the thing. So Ozempic dropped onto the market and went internationally famous immediately, a weight loss drug. Like, this is things that people have been looking for so long. And actually, although people are now jumping onto the weight loss bandwagon, and it's getting a bit of a stigma attached to it, there's a lot of positive prescribed by a doctor that because it will reduce weight, it's going to help with cardiovascular diseases, and there's a lot of good that it will do. So it's actually going to change the game in so many ways. But for the people using it for weight loss, a lot of people, because there's actually a rush to get it, and therefore the people with diabetes may not have access as much, so people aren't admitting it.
That's true.
So when we posted yesterday, a lot of negative comments jumping on, having a conversation, but I agree with you. I think so often, let's like take Ozempic and Caroline Stanbury out of it, so often people get procedures in high places, a lot of views on their platforms, they don't talk about it, they don't admit it, and then you're sitting there at home thinking, oh, why don't I look like that person? Why can't I achieve that? Da-da-da. So although it's not saying someone to go and do it, I think actually telling people that you've done something, even though it goes against the grain of what society is doing, it's actually a hard thing to do, I would say.
I agree, and I'll tell you why that actually happens. Because people want to be perceived as they are naturally skinny. And of course, you know, like, we follow trends, you know, like at some point the BBL was trendy after Kim Kardashian.
What's
for
BBL?
a while. Oh, it's like, you need to be like a bit like chubby from like down there.
Big touch.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? Like, for example, like people they would want to do like squats and so on. And that was like trendy for a while. And that's when everyone like had like fillers from the back.
Oh, I don't think we should I don't think we should even give a platform to what is perceived as a trendy body type. I don't think I don't think we should.
I agree,
because I think it's totally wrong that's even
100%.
part of the conversation on TikTok. And I feel it's unfortunate that, you know, people are seeing this on TikTok, and that's the expectation. So then therefore I think what you're going to say is
exactly, and that's why, you know what I mean, like, people just like follow trends, and because that was trendy, people wanted to actually gain some weight. But now, because like all over TikTok, everyone's like, oh my god, Kate Moss said nothing tastes better than being skinny. She said something like that.
I think that was like back in the 2000s when I was reading magazines.
It's all over TikTok now. You know, it's all over TikTok now, and it's
I didn't know.
Now everyone now wants to be skinny, and everyone wants to be like, you're like a model, and everyone wants to be like, oh yeah, I'm just like I'm born like that. You know, some people actually do not understand that. You know, this is your body type. And this is how you are. You don't need to take like you don't need to get too skinny. But of course, you know what I mean. Like, that's why like a lot of like celebrities are kind of like hiding it.
That's why they're not saying it. Yes. Well, let's just leave it at be comfortable in who you are. It's so important. Eat healthy, exercise a couple of times a week, and try and just avoid perceived trends on body types, because we'll never be what that person on Instagram looks like, because that person is medicated, they're doing surgeries, and they're using filters, and they're using all sorts to kind of narrow their bodies or make them bigger or smaller. So we'll never reach that achieve. So just try and feel comfortable in who you are.
I agree.